Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, okay, good. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
हाँ हाँ बोलो.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Okay, so let us start. Uh, Let me just share my screen. So are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us start. So yeah, so I had some internet issues last 3 4 days, which is why I've not been able to put videos or anything. But we'll try to cover that up in the coming time. So today I might go a little bit more. I think you don't have lecture immediately at 9 or 9:15, no? So we might take a little bit longer in order to finish some parts. Okay, not too much, little bit, at most some 15 20 minutes extra. That's all. All right. So the first part that we did, okay, the first topic, uh, that was about asymptotic growth of functions, where we looked at these notations big O, big omega, little omega, theta, and tilde, right? All of these things. That is the basic about growth of functions. And now we have to start talking about data structures and algorithms. And there in between, in computations, such functions will arise, and we'll have to understand the growth of those functions. But those functions are not going to appear just like that directly all the time. Okay, sometimes they will appear in a recursive form. Okay, so what is the meaning of a recursive form? What it means is that the definition of the functions is not given directly. Okay, instead the functions are defined using smaller values. Okay, so those are such relationships are called recurrences, and then when such a relationship is given, we have to find out what the function is. So that is what is meant by solving recurrences. And today we'll look at one method of solving recurrences, which is called a recurrence tree. Okay, there are two methods, or rather three methods, which we'll look at: total recurrence tree, substitution, and master method. Okay, so today we'll look at recurrence tree and we'll complete this. It's simple, and I want to do this in one lecture itself rather than breaking it into parts, because it is essentially only one thing. Okay, there's nothing to break. So we'll finish this in one sitting itself. So be careful. Anyways, it's being recorded, so you can look at it later on as well. But just pay attention. Okay, it is easy, but you just have to pay attention to this. Okay, so solving recurrences using recurrence trees. Right. So what is a recurrence? Okay, so recurrence is just a description of a function. A description of a function. That's all I'm meaning. Okay, f of n, where f of n, f at the value at the input n, is given in terms of f of k for k less than n. Okay, all the previous values, f of n minus 1, f of n minus 2, f of n minus 3, up to f of 1, right? All those terms need not appear. F of n could be just f of n minus 1 plus something. Okay, but at most these function values between f of 1 to f of n minus 1, these will be used to describe f of n. Okay, when such a description is given, it is called a recurrence. Okay, so now henceforth we will only assume that the functions take positive values and not concern ourselves with negative values. There's no need to complicate things. The input n is a positive integer, the output is always a real number which is positive. Okay, so let's start with a basic example. Basic example is this description: f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus 1. Okay, suppose only this much is given to you, and then it is asked, what is f of n? What's the formula for f of n? And you have to find it out. That is what is meant by solving recurrences. Okay, so f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus 1. But if you see, if you go down, 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 you will ask for f of n minus 1, then you will ask for f of n minus 2, then you will ask for f of n minus 3. You will go down, 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 you will ask for finally f of 2. In finding f of 2, you will ask for f of 1. But f of 1 cannot ask for f of 0. There is no 0. N starts from 1. So for f of 1, you need to give a value. You need to give an initial value for the recurrence. Okay. So what's the initial value? So in this course, often we will not mention the initial value. Okay. And whenever the initial value is not mentioned, we will assume that the initial value is just f of 1 is equal to 1. Okay, not 0. F of 1 is equal to 1. Alright. Sometimes it might be mentioned. Sometimes we might start with f of 1 is equal to 3. But then it will be written separately in the question itself. If it is not written, it means the initial value is assumed to be 1. Okay, so we will go ahead with that convention. So this is a recurrence and this is the initial value not mentioned, but we'll assume it. And we have to solve this. So let's look at first few values. F of 1 is given to be 1. F of 2 is f of 1 plus 1 by this recurrence, which is 2. F of 3 is f of 2 plus 1 by this recurrence, which is 3. So now do you see f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 2, f of 3 is 3. So f of n, you can guess that it is n for all n greater than or equal to 1. Is this much clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, but now here's the important point. This is a guess that f of n is equal to n, depending on the initial values. Okay, we have not proven this. How do we prove this? To prove this, we can use induction. Since it is recurrence, induction will be very, very easy to apply. Right, because by induction on n, f of 1 is given to be 1. Now, by induction hypothesis, assume f of n minus 1 is n minus 1. Therefore, f of n is f of n minus 1 plus 1, which is n minus 1 plus 1, which is n. Okay, so the induction argument is very, very easy. To try to prove this by induction, where in the induction bridge you have to use the given recurrence relation. Okay, and it's going to be very easy. Okay, so this I'm leaving as an exercise, simple exercise. Just write it down. It will be, you will be finished with it in 30 seconds or something. Very easy. Okay, so finding the first few values will give you an idea, hopefully, of what the formula should be. And once you get that, you can prove that by induction. Okay, this is one way of solving the recurrence. But now there are better ways to solve the recurrence. I mean, you may not always get an idea of what the values are just by looking at f of 1, f of 2, f of 3. It might be difficult. So how do you do that? You need a method to solve a recurrence. Okay, so we will look at a method which solves every possible recurrence, almost every recurrence. Okay, so let's look at another example, another easy example. This time f of n is equal to f of n minus 1 plus n. Okay, once again, if you look at the first few values, f of 1 is 1 because not mentioned, so initial value is 1. F of 2 is f of 1 plus n. F of 2 is f of 1 plus 2, and that is equal to 1 plus 2, which is 3. F of 3 is f of 2 plus 3, but f of 2 we know is 1 plus 2. So f of 3 is 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6. Okay, so now we have f of 1 is 1, f of 2 is 1 plus 2, f of 3 is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So we can guess again that f of n is in fact 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n, first n numbers, sum of first n numbers, right? Which we know is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, right? So that is a good guess and hopefully it should work. Again, how do we prove this? Again by induction on n. Okay, for 1 it is true, assume for n minus 1 and 2 for n. Okay, so again this is very, very simple. So again I'm leaving it to you as an exercise. Okay, this is in fact not important, but just try it out just to convince yourself that this is one way. Okay, if you don't have any other method of solving a recurrence, or if every other method fails, one thing you can definitely try is look at a few initial, look at a few first few terms, one f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, f of 4. Try to guess the value and then prove by induction. Okay, that is one method you can always try. All right. So now let's go to the method. Okay. So there is one small idea that you should realize when you are solving recurrences in general, not by using induction, but by using some particular method. In this case, recurrence tree. Okay, that is what we are going to use. So let C be a constant. So this is just a small discussion. This is not the description of the method. Okay, just a small discussion that I want you to pay attention to, and this is very, very important. Okay, so let me start with a constant C greater than 0. Okay, and then I write down this relation f of n is f of n by 2 plus c. Okay, do you realize this is also a recurrence because n by 2 is less than n, so I'm expressing f of n in terms of something smaller, so it is okay. This is also a recurrence. It need not be n minus 1, n minus 2. It could be a fraction also, no problem. Okay, so f of n is f of n by 2 plus c. Now the question is, look at this diagram on the right hand side. Okay, here you are asking for f of n, but in order to find out the value at n, you will have to find out the value at n by 2 because of the recurrence. In order to find the value at n by 2, if you apply n by 2 here, f of n by 2 is f of n by 4 plus c, again by the recurrence relation. So in order to find out f of n by 2, you need to find out f of n by 4, which is f of n by 2 squared. In order to find out f of n by 2 squared, you need to find out f of n by 2 cube, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have this sort of tree. Okay, starts at n, goes down, where the values go on decreasing, n by 2, n by 2 square, n by 2 cube, dot 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 dot. Finally, you will reach the initial value f of 1. Okay, here I am writing big O1 because it need not be exactly f of 1 all the time. It could be f of 2 or f of 3, but it will be f of some constant, and we will assume that it is 1. I mean, it really doesn't make any difference if it's not 1 and if it's equal to f of 2 or something. Doesn't make a difference. We can very well assume that it is f of 1. Okay, in general it is f of something that is order 1. That is enough. Big O of 1. Okay, that is enough. So this is the thing. If you write down n by 2, n by 2 square, n by 2 cube, dot 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 up to 1, at what height will you get 1? Do you understand the question? This 1 is some n by 2 to the k naught, some k naught. Okay, here you have height 1 from n to n by 2. So let me write this down. Just 1 second. So I hope you can see what I'm writing now. Let's see. Use color. Okay, so from n to n by 2, the height is 1, right? And you're going from n to n by 2 to the 1. Now, if you're going from n to n by 2 square, the height is 2. You're going to n by 2 square, you see? So if you're going from n, so now if you're going from n to order 1, okay, and order 1 looks like n by 2 to the k naught for some k, right? What should this height be? Can somebody tell what the height is first? Yeah, height is k. Okay. Right. Now the question is, how do you find this k naught? Okay, so that is where this comes. So we have this relation n by 2 to the k naught. So n by 2 to the k naught is order 1. We have this, right? And we may assume that order 1 is some constant, right? It need not be 1. You can take that to be 1 also if you want. If you're comfortable with that, that is okay. But let's fix it. In general, it is some constant alpha. So we'll fix it to be an alpha, which is a constant. Okay. Right. So alpha is a constant. Okay. So n by 2 to the k naught is equal to some alpha, which means let's move in terms. N is alpha times 2 to the k naught. Now you can take log on both sides because you want to find k naught, right? So log n is log alpha plus k naught times log 2 to the base 2, which is equal to 1. Okay, we are working with log to the base 2, so that's why I didn't write down that. So that is just log 2 to the base 2, which is 1, and therefore k naught is log n minus log alpha, right? But do you see, log alpha is also a constant because alpha is a constant. Alpha is a constant, and therefore log alpha is also a constant. So in fact, k naught as a varying parameter, k naught is tilde log n. Check this. Okay, check this. K naught is tilde log n, assuming log alpha is constant. This is very easy to check. Okay, so k naught will be tilde log n, and the whole point of tilde now is to say that we can almost assume them to be equal, because when you take the ratio, the limit tends to 1 anyways. So we might as well assume them to be the same. That is why you use tilde. Okay, so k naught will be tilde log n, and therefore for all purposes k naught is log n. So this height for all purposes is equal to log n. Okay, is that clear to you? Is this much clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me just verify now. What was this? K naught was the height which, when you consider at the end, you get order 1, big O 1, right? Now you put k naught equal to log n here, n by 2 to the k naught is n by 2 to the log n, okay, tilde n by 2 to the log n, because k naught is tilde log n, okay, and this 2 to the log n to the base 2 is n itself, right? So this is n by n, which is equal to 1. So there isn't really any difference, okay? So when you take something that is tilde log n, you will get something that is close to big O 1. You're getting 1 itself here. So very good. Okay. So asymptotically, this height is log n. That is the meaning. Okay, when you go n by 2, n by 2. What is the other thing that you need to remember? So let me just write this small thing down on this side. This is the important thing. So here the height is k naught and it is equal to log, let me write it very carefully, log to the base 2 of n. Log to the base 2 of n. The other thing to note here is n is reduced by a factor 1 by 2, right? N by 2, n by 4, n by 8, and so on. This relationship is very important because the base you find here and the factor that you get here will always be reciprocals. Okay, remember this. Okay, there is no proof or anything of that kind. It's just a fact. Remember this. The base to which you take the log and the factor by which you reduce this multiplicatively, they will be reciprocals of each other. So if you were considering n by 3, n by 3 squared, n by 3 cubed, and so on, then you would have k naught equal to log n to the base 3 because your factor is 1 by 3. Okay, that is the main point here, right? So that is this. Any doubt up to this point? Now we'll go to the method, recursion trees. So up to this point, any doubt? Or rather, take 2 minutes. Look at this whole slide. Okay, this whole thing is about this. Look at this slide. Take 2 minutes. I'll just come back in 2 minutes and think about this in that time. If there is any doubt, ask me. Okay, we don't have to rush. Anyways, my slides are prepared, so we have more time. I will not waste time writing things down. Okay, so have a look at this slide for 2 minutes now. Okay, and see if you understand everything. Anything that you don't understand, you ask me now. Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah.
Sir, this part I didn't understand. Second last part, n is reduced by log a factor 1 by 2 means. Hello, sir.
I think he is not here, Abhi.
Hello, sir.
Okay, so any doubts? Or is this part clear?
Yes, sir. I have any doubts, sir?
Bolo?
Some doubt. Sir,
Yeah, yeah.
this one what you have written n is reduced by factor log a factor 1 by 2.
Right.
What means? I didn't
What that
understand.
means is at every step you are dividing by 2, right? You are reducing in this tree.
Yes,
You start with n,
yes,
then n is reducing to n by 2.
yes,
N by 2 is reducing to half of n by 2, n by 4. N by
yes.
4 is reducing to half of n by 4, which is n by 8, n by 2 cube. Dot, 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 dot. So at every step, the parameter that you start with n, you start with n, and then you keep reducing by a factor of 1 by 2.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, sir.
This is a constant factor. You don't change, you don't take 1 by 2 here and then 1 by 3 at the next step. You will never do that. There will be a fixed number
Yes, sir.
and you keep reducing by that factor. The reciprocal of that number will be the log, will be what will come in the log when you want to
Yes,
find out the
sir.
height. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Nothing? Everything is fine? Okay, so let's go ahead. So this is the main thing that I wanted you to understand. This concept of height that you get when you look at a tree. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's go into one example. Okay, so it is the same example here right now. Let's try to see how we will solve this using the recursion tree. Okay, so this is the question now. This is a question that is given. F of n is f of n by 2 plus c. Find what f of n is. Is that okay? So now, how do you do this? Now, look at this tree once again. I'm drawing it once again here. So we have n, we have n by 2, we have n by 4, we have n by 8, and dot 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 dot. And then we'll have order 1. And this height is, what is it going to be? Log to the base 2. Okay, that is what this height is going to be. So here is the thing. The c here is a fixed cost. It's a fixed number. Okay, so when you want to compute f of n, you have to go down and compute f of n by 2. But there is already some addition, right? There is already a cost of c at this level. There is a c that is going to go into this curve. Okay, and so it's like you want to compute f of n, so you are already computing c, you are adding c anyways, and then you go to compute f of n by 2. So if you want to now compute f of n by 2, what will the recurrence for f of n by 2 look like? F of n by 2 is equal to f of n by 4 plus c, because this thing is true for all n, right? So once again, at the level of f of n by 2, you have a cost c, and then you have whatever is coming out of f of n by 4, and you will repeat this. So at every level you will see that there is a cost c going outside, okay, up to the point of order 1, and then you will compute f at order 1. Is that okay? So what is the total cost? Can you tell me what is the total cost? Okay, so here's the idea. You will keep doing this, you will keep reducing this, right? Finally, you will have something like f of 2 is equal to f of 1 plus c. That will be the last thing that you get. Okay, that is what you get at this step, right? So when you want to add the cost, f of 1 is 1. So the total cost, I mean, you can just add these two equations and on both sides, and then finally this is like opening the smaller expressions. You will get finally f of n is equal to, you have f of 1 here, you have the f of 1 coming from here, and then there is a c, but then that's f of 2, and then there is a c, f of 3, there is a c, f of 4 or f of 8, there is a c. So this, at all the higher levels, you don't have function value anymore. You keep having c, 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 and so on. How many times? These many times. And this is exactly log to the base 2n. So you have log to the base 2n. Many c's. So this is equal to f of 1 is 1 plus c log to the base 2n. And that is equal to big O log n. So that is the final value of f of n. Is that clear? Hello, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you have followed. Let me do this once again, okay,
Yes, sir.
since we have time. I'll repeat the whole thing. Let's do it again. Okay, look at this level. What did we do? We opened this up. So now f of n by 2 is equal to f of n by 4. Let's see. Add these two equations. Okay, that's what I was saying when we add all of them. Add these two, and you will get f of n plus f of n by 2 is equal to f of n by 2 plus f of n by 4 plus 2c. But f of n by 2 cancels. Okay, therefore we have got, yeah, please switch off your mic. Okay, switch off your mic. Thank you. So we will have f of n is equal to f of n by 4 plus 2c. So what have we done here? We got down to one equation. We got down one level. So the final answer is actually what is remaining at the end of this level plus the number of c's that you have, which is 2. Okay. Now let's go back, and instead of stopping here, let's go one more level down. I'll write f of n by 4 is f of n by 8 plus c. Now if I add, what do we get? F of n plus, do you see? Now let me write it directly. F of n by 4 will cancel, f of n by 2 will cancel. So you get f of n is equal to f of n by 8 plus 3c. Because at the last equation, what was remaining was f of n by 8, and the number of times c has come, which is 3. That will be the total cost. Okay. Now this is what we are doing more generally. So we don't stop here. Instead, we keep going down, down, down. We will keep going down until we reach a point where we have something of the kind. Something of the kind f of 2 is equal to f of 1 plus. Okay, and then when you add everything up to this term, except this term, the other terms will just cancel off, and you're left with c as many times as you have when you go up to this point. Okay, and what is this? This height is log n, log to the base 2n. So f of n, after cancelling terms, is just f of 1 plus c times log to the base 2n. But f of 1 is 1 plus c log n. And we only want the answer of f in big O or theta terms. Okay, so this is big O log n, because this c is a constant. Okay, so it's clear. First time, perhaps it might not have been clear right away. So I hope now it's clear to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is one example of how you solve a recurrence using the recursion tree method, because this was the tree. But note that this was a simple tree. It was just going down vertically. Right? Now trees can be little more complicated. Okay, there could be branches in the tree. Okay, so what do you do when there are branches in the tree? Let's look at the next example. So this is the final answer. Okay, so f of n is equal to order log n is the final answer of this problem. If you have to solve this recurrence, this is your final answer. Okay. Right. So another example. Okay, and now things are a little bit more complicated. So t of n. So henceforth for our course, sometimes, or rather most of the time, instead of using f and g, we will use t or k or h sometimes. Okay, just for notation. So now the recurrence is t of n is equal to 3 times t of n by 4 plus theta n squared. You see, it is little more complicated now. But now here's the first point. First point that you should know is when you're considering an element of the form theta or big O, okay, you might as well, for the answer, you want t of n finally in the form of big O, right? Just as in here. You don't want the exact value. You only want to know it is big O of what. Okay. So up to that, if that is all you want, you can just assume that is the first step. Okay. You can just assume that theta n squared is c times n squared for some constant c greater than 0. It's equal to c times n squared. Okay. So this is the first step. You will replace the theta term with this constant times whatever the function is. Okay. That will make it easier to solve it. Right. So what you have to solve now is t of n is equal to 3 times t of n by 4 plus c n squared. Okay. So now how do you solve? Now the same way. Okay. You started with n by 2 and so on, right? So first you start with t of n. So t of n, there is just a small change here than the previous diagram that I drew. Okay, and the change is the following. Instead of writing the cost on the right hand side, I'm writing the cost at the vertex itself. Okay, at the place itself. I'm replacing it. Okay, so we had t of n at the top, but t of n is 3 times t of n by 4. So there are 3 branches. Count. There are 3 things that you have to count. Or t of n by 4 has to be counted 3 times. Okay, so there are now branches, 3 of them, 1 for each occurrence. And what is the cost at the nth level? What is the cost at the top? C of n. c times n squared. So that cost is already here. Okay, that's the first step. Further down, you do the same with each of these t of n by 4s. So the next tree will look like this. See. So first level you have c of n squared, c times n squared. T of n by 4 is 3 times t of n by 16 plus c times n by 4 squared. Okay, so let me just write down so that it's not confusing. At the next level, you have t of n by 4 is equal to 3 times t of n by 4 by 4, that is n by 16, Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes,
Ah,
sir.
okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I hope you can see my screen now. This is where we stop.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. So this is where we were. So at the second level, we have t times t of n by 4 is 3 times t of n by 16 plus c times n by 4 squared. So at the second level, the cost is c times n by 4 squared, c times n by 4 squared, c times n by 4 squared. Okay, for each occurrence. Correct? And then at this level, we have 3 branches because for each of them, we count 3 t of n by 16 3 times. So there are 3 branches for each one. Right? Okay. So the cost at the top level is c times n squared. The cost at the next level is 3 into c into 3 times n by 3 into c into n by 4 squared. Okay, you have to add these 3. So that is what we will see at the next level. So this is what it is. Top level cost is just c times n squared. Next level is 3c n by 4 whole squared, which is 3 by 16 c n squared. Okay. Now at the next level which you saw, you had t of n by 16, t of n by 16 at each of these. 9 times they were occurring. Right? Now if you open all of those, they will again branch out. Each one will branch out 3 times. But now here, if you see, the cost becomes 9 times of this. So if you simplify, this is actually 3 by 16 whole squared c times n squared. Okay, and then if you keep doing this, you will branch out, branch out, branch out. You will get t of 1, t of 1, t of 1, all those things. Okay, but now how many times do you have t of 1? That is a question. Okay, so firstly, what is the height at which you will get t of 1? It is written log to the base 4n. Is it clear why? Can someone tell me why it is log to the base 4 of n? I just explained, no, in the previous slide. Why is the height now
So the
log to the base
factor
4?
is reduced to 1 by 4.
Every time. Okay? Factor is reducing by a factor of 1 by 4 every time. Okay? You can see it. We go to n, n by 4, n by 16, and so on. Okay? So log to the base 4n. Now you want to find out that at height log to the base 4n, how many times t of 1 has occurred, right? Because that is the cost that you have at the end. T of 1 is equal to 1. That is the initial condition, right? But then you have to count 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 and add them. How many times? That is the question. Okay, so we'll see how we get this. Okay, so this was height 1, and at height 1, how many terms do we have? We have 1 term. Okay, at height 2, how many terms do we have? We have 3 terms. Okay, so now let me write this down. At height 1, we have, shall I write it to the left side? I'm writing on the left side. At height 1, we have 1 term. At height 2, sorry, this is height 0. I'm sorry, very sorry. Okay, this is height 0. Height equal to 0, we have 1 term. Height equal to 1, we have 3 terms. Okay, this is height equal to 2, and we have 9 terms. Do you see where this is going? So at height equal to this height, log to the base 4 of n, how many terms will we have? Can you tell me now? Can you guess? It should be easy. At height 0 we have one term. At height 1 we have 3 terms. Height 2 we have 9 terms. Height log n to the base 4, how many terms should we have?
3n square.
3n squared. 3n squared. At height 2 we have 9 terms. So if you take, how will you get 9 when you take height equal to 2? If you say it is 3n squared. I am not asking about the cost or anything. Cost is here. Cost is on the right hand side. That is this, the leftover term. Cn squared, 3 by 16 Cn squared. I am simply asking for the number of these nodes. You see this? There is one node here. There are 3 nodes here. There are 9 nodes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At this height, how many will we have? How many copies? What is the total number of nodes? That is what I am asking. Okay, tell me now. Height 0, you have only one node. Height 1, you have 3 nodes. Height 2, you have 9 nodes. Come on, man. We have been doing this now since last 15 minutes.
3 raised to log 4n.
Okay, thank you. So this is 3 to the 0, right? This is 3 to the 1. This is 3 squared. So you have 3 to the log 4 n. Okay. There will be a pattern in every problem. You just have to try out first. You have to draw the recursion tree. This is the recursion tree. You have to draw the recursion tree for 1, 2 or 3 heights maybe. Okay, and then find out these few terms, and then you will be able to see what the pattern is. This is how you solve this problem. You will have to draw such a diagram for every recursion that you get. Okay, so when you draw this, you draw first few heights, you will see this, and then in general you will be able to say that at the end you will have so many, at the end you will have this height and you will have these many terms. Okay, now let me just try to rewrite this. 3 to the log n to the base 4. Okay, let us say we want to convert it to something simpler. Okay, we want to write it this way. We want to write it as n to the something all the time. Okay, they are already given the answer here. The number of copies here is in fact n to the log 3 to the base 4. Let us see how it is. Okay, we are saying that it should be 3 raised to log n to the base 4. Whereas in the diagram, they are giving it to be n raised to log 3 to the base 4. तो ऐसा कैसा हो गया, right? So let us see how we get this. Okay, so now if you realize 3 is equal to, I'm sorry, I can change basis for a moment and write this down as the following. This is equal to 3 raised to log n to the base 3 divided by log 3 to the base 4. Okay, this is the base change of logarithm, which you have seen in 11, 12 or at that point of time. Okay, what is base change of logarithm? Log x to the base b is equal to log x to the base a divided by log b to the base a, when you're changing from base b to base a. Okay, so Sorry. So that is the base change algorithm for log. Okay, that is what I'm using here. So log n to the base 4 is log n to the base 3 by log 3 to the base 4. Okay, that is equal to 3 raised to log n to the base 3, the whole raised to 1 by log 3 to the base 4. Oh, sorry. It should be multiplicating. Sorry, I made a mistake. So log x to the base b is equal to log x to the base a times log b to the base. Very sorry, small mistake. Okay. So this, let me write it down again. So this is 3 raised to log n to the base 3 times log 3 to the base 4. Now you see how this is appearing more or less. So this is in fact equal to this thing, 3 raised to log n to the base 3 raised to log 3 to the base 4. But it's like this, a to the log n to the base a is n itself. Okay, you wanted this base to match this index. That is what you have to do. So then you get n itself, and then the remaining log 3 to the base 4. That is how you get this. Is that clear, everybody? Hello, is that log manipulation clear?
Yes, sir.
We're just using this base change of log. I think it's okay. And now why do we write theta of this? Because we write t of 1 for convenience, but it is order 1, no? It might be little bit different. It is big O 1 or theta 1. So therefore we just approximate that and conveniently write this as theta of this term. That will be the cost. Okay. So that is how we get this. Okay then. So once we have these costs, we have to add them all up. So T of n is now like this plus this plus this. Now theta n to the log 3 to the base 4 is at height log n to the base 4 up to log n to the base 4 minus 1. Okay, up to one level less, up to this level, the terms are all of this form. That is why the cost is j going from 0 to log n to the base 4 minus 1, 3 by 16 to the j times cn squared. That is exactly what we have. Cn squared, 3 by 16 cn squared, 3 by 16 squared cn squared, and so on up to the level log n to the base 4 minus 1. So 3 by 16 to j cn squared plus at the last level you have this term theta of n to the log 3 to the base 4. Okay. But now cn squared is a common thing here. It's a common factor, so you can take it out. And we want estimates. So these are all non-negative numbers. So instead of going up to log n to the base 4 minus 1, I'll just go up to infinity. Just for easiness. Okay, easiness in computing. So this is less than or equal to cn squared times summation j going from 0 to infinity 3 by 16 to the base j plus this term. But now this we know, right? Infinite sum we know the formula for this. Okay, just check the formula for infinite sum. When this factor is less than 1, 3 by 16 is less than 1. This is a convergent series, and its value is exactly 1 by 1 minus 3 by 16. Okay, check that. Okay, that is very easy. So this is equal to cn squared times 1 by 1 minus 3 by 16 plus this term. That is equal to 16 by 13 times cn squared plus this term. Okay, now log 3 to the base 4, base is greater than 3, right? So log 3 to the base 4 will be less than 1. Okay, so now you remember we looked at n to the delta, n to the mu, those kinds of problems in the previous tutorial. So I'm not repeating them. Go back to the sheet, tutorial sheet, and check. Okay, since this is less than 1, n to the log 3 to the base 4 is in fact little o n to the 1. Okay, so this term, although it is theta n to the log 3 to the base 4, this is in fact little o n. Okay, but this term 16 by 13 c n squared is already big O n squared. It's a larger term, right? So big O n squared plus little o n is in fact big O n squared itself. How? We had seen again in tutorial, f of n plus little o f of n is theta f of n. Okay, so similar kind of uh, solution to that. So check that this is in fact equal to big O n squared plus little o n is in fact equal to big O n squared itself. Okay, check that. Okay, and that is the final answer. So T of n, after writing down all this tree up to 3-4 levels based on this equation, we found out the scaling factor, which was 1 by 4. Therefore the height is log to the base 4 of n. Okay, at each level the costs are c n squared, 3 by 16 c n squared, and so on. And at the final level the constant cost t of 1 appears so many times theta n to the log 3 to the base 4. How did we find that? We looked at this tree. At the first level we have 0th level we have 1 term, first level we have 3 terms, second level we have 9 terms. So then from this tree what we get is at the level log n to the base 4, we will get 3 to the log n to the base 4 many terms, copies of t of 1, and therefore this total cost is theta 3 to the log n to the base 4, which is equal to theta n to the log 3 to the base 4, because we want it in the form n to the something, right? Then adding all these costs, so T of n is adding all those costs from level 0 to level log n to the base 4 minus 40, which are all of this form. Okay, and for a level j we have 3 by 16 to the j c n squared plus the cost at the final level, which is theta log Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, once again, so this is where we were. So T of n is big O n squared. Okay, that is the final answer. Now let me just finish in 2 minutes or so. Next problem. Okay, what if you are given a problem of this form? Okay, this is now an exercise for you. I'll just explain the basic steps and then you try to write it down. Okay, and we'll look at it tomorrow once again. So now the recurrence is T of n is equal to, there are two terms now, T of n by 3 plus T of 2n by 3 plus C times n. That is the cost. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, you do that in the usual way. Okay, just as you did before. The first level, the cost is, sorry, the 0th level, the cost is Cn. Okay, then you will have two branches because you have Tn by 3 and T2n by 3. Correct? But then those two branches will have different values because this is not 2 times T of n by 3, it's T of n by 3, T of 2n by 3. So the cost at this level is C of n by 3 and C of 2n by 3, okay, at these two levels. And then the total cost, if you add them at this level, it's again Cn. Okay, now try to repeat this. Now repeat this for T of n by 3 and you will get T of n by 9 plus T of 2n by 9 plus C times n by 9. Okay, so that is this, and then C times 2n by 9, then C times 2n by 9 and C times 4n by 9. Okay, these will be the two terms that you get for each of these when you expand this. Okay, so you will have to write the tree at least 0th level, first level and second level, at least this much to understand what is going on. Okay, you will see this. Now if you add these costs, you will again get Cn. Okay, so now it should be clear that at every level the total cost is going to be Cn. Okay, but now what will the height be equal to? All right, that is the question. What will the height be equal to? So now, do you remember the factor was, whatever was the factor, if you had 1 by 2, you took log to the base 2. If you had 1 by 4, you took log to the base 4. If you have 1 by 3, you take log to the base 3. But here you have two factors. In one term you have 1 by 3. In the other term you have 2 by 3. So you are supposed to look at the maximum of those two, the largest factor. Okay, so 1 by 3, 2 by 3. The largest factor is 2 by 3. So think of it as 2 by 3, and therefore you have to take log with respect to reciprocal of 2 by 3, which is 3 by 2. Okay, so you take the log with respect to reciprocal of the maximum factor, the largest factor. So that is log n to the base 3 by 2. That will be the height. At the end, you will have T of 1, T of 1, T of 1, T of 1. How many times? You will have to check. Okay, so I have given you the height. Now you know what the cost at each level should be. Now look at these branches and find out how many times T of 1 will come. Okay, and then add the cost and solve it. Okay, so this is the exercise. Finish this problem. Okay, this is your exercise and we will discuss this tomorrow. Is that okay? So I'll stop here now. So far it's okay, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay then. So we'll stop here. Yeah, sorry for that internet issue. I'll see what I can do about that next time. So anyways, so thank you. Bye. Let's meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.